It's all the things in today's tutorial. We've waited so long and finally the time is here. I get to show you what each and every one of these brushes do. It's going to be exciting. And we're back, folks. Time for another episode of our brush series. We're gonna get right into it because today we're doing a full face using Maskcara beauty products and showing off all of their fantastic brushes. So up until this point, we've been just showing off for just one video, 2 brushes, and seeing their magical powers go to do your full face. My goal today is to show you what each and every brush, almost every brush, what it can do, why they have it, and why it's something you would want to collect. Let's begin. I'm gonna start off with my Perfector sponge. This baby needs to be wet, remember, and damp. Squeeze all the water out of it before you use it. I have oily skin, and so for me, my favorite thing to do is to use our Stay Spray product. I like to spray it on the fat end of my Perfector sponge, and I like to dab it into those zones for me that get really oily during the day. This is going to help to keep my makeup on. It's acting as a primer, and man, it really does work. I just like to do a thin layer of that Stay Spray. Notice I'm doing it all over my face. It's because I do really struggle with oil. I mean, I really do, and I know it's hormonal, but this really does the trick. Okay, so first step done. Gonna let it just air just a little while. So if you don't know, now you're gonna know, mascara comes in these awesome little compacts. Depending on how much you buy, that is going to decide how big or how small your free compact is gonna be, but everything fits into your compact. It's a streamlined way of doing your makeup. You may think these tins look small, but let me tell you, they go far. The pigment on it is strong and you only need a little bit. This is what I do for my daily routine. So I start off with the Buffy brush because I have some trouble spots. I have maturing skin. And so for me, Buffy, I love using it, the smaller end. I dip it into my darker highlight color. This is Mango. And I like to go into this inner corner of the eye where I have a little bit of darkness. Right here, underneath my nose where I get some redness. With Buffy, you want to use those stamping motions like this to get the product right into those little areas that you just want to take back into the background. No one needs to see them. Right along my chin, I've got a lot of acne scarring. I mean, the teenage years were just not too kind to me, let me tell you. There it is. Okay, that's my first layer. I'm going to now still stick with my Buffy brush and go into my highlight color. This is my fall winter color. I'm using amber and I'm going into the areas that I want to brighten. Remember that we brighten in that triangle of light area from here down.
Right there. And of course along my forehead. Again, just stamping that product in.
So like we've discussed before, Buffy is going to put on, this is a high coverage brush. It's dense. You can tell from the brush, it's dense, and it's going to distribute that product onto your skin a lot more than, let's say, my Best Blend Forever. Remember her? We talked about her in our first video. Okay, from here, I like to take my B² bronzer brush because if you remember, I don't recommend using Buffy by herself. She needs a friend. And here's our B² bronzer. I'm going to use the smaller end and I'm simply gonna buff out both that amber and mango using a combination of stamping motions and just small circular motions. What I'm not gonna do is go back and forth, just buff. I'm going to spread that product along the jawline, but I'm gonna leave this part pretty blank because my contour and my lip and cheek color are going to provide coverage for me, so I don't need to layer and layer product on, and that's what makes mascara different. Okay, you use these products You use these colors just where you need them, where you want them, and you don't have to layer 10 things onto your skin. Buffing it out. Okay, so we've got that base layer on. I look a little crazy. I'm gonna use, this is the Tarte Eye Primer. I'm almost out of it, getting there. You guys have been with me for the long haul on that one. A lot of people like to use their highlight color. For me, that would have been amber. And put it on the lid of their eyes for their eyelid primer. And what you would do is just use that highlight color and then use a color that's very neutral and just brush it over your eye to prevent any creasing. If you do not have problems with oily skin, that is going to work beautifully for you. If you are like me and struggle with oil, that hasn't worked for me. It's not enough to keep my colors from creasing. And it's just, I just have a lot of oil. So I don't use that. But a lot of people do, and it's certainly worth a try because it's such a good color. There we go. All right, folks, on the contour, I'm going to be using Indigo as my contour. Now, you guys haven't seen this brush, I don't think, but this is their contour brush, double-ended. All the brushes are double-ended. Notice the shape. Do you remember when we were using B squared, I told you to pinch it to put that contour on? That eliminates this step, and it just has the nicest shape to just hug your cheekbone and really distribute it to make it just so seamless and pretty. I find that it just saves time. I don't know, I do like having all the brushes, I'm not gonna lie. But if you're going somewhere or you want to keep it simple, you know, you having that one brush definitely is doable. So remember, our contour goes right underneath our cheekbone, and right where the hard part stops, that's where my contour is gonna stop. And then you always buff up. Now look at this. See how it already distributes that color so perfectly without any hassle at all. There we are. I'm going to leave it like that. Other side, same thing. You're gonna start up by your ear, press it into the cheek. Just following along your natural cheekbone, blending slightly up with this gentle hand. There we are. Then I'm gonna dip it again, hold back my hair, and come along here on the very top of my forehead to add warmth, okay? This is what it's doing. It's adding warmth. It's adding that level of shadow to just make the bright points of your face stand out even more. So easy, so effortless, blends seamlessly, looks beautiful. Okay, and then the jawline as well. Just going around the bend. I like to put some just right underneath, and I like to kind of pull it down, but leave this part without it. You could even, to add more of a dramatic effect, put a little of your highlight color, your lightest one, like mine would be amber, right along here, and it's just gonna accentuate that neckline, look really pretty. Just a little hint. To contour my nose, I'm going to flip my brush. I'm going to start pretty much where my eyebrow and nose meet and make a line that just goes straight down. Now remember, we don't have to be afraid of contour. It really is your friend. It just brings out those natural shapes of your face to just make it a little bit more distinct. Okay, so there's that, and I'm gonna flip again, and I'm gonna pull that color down very gently, just along the side of the nose. I don't wanna take it over the bridge. And then I'm gonna use my finger to put just a dab more of my amber lighter highlight color right down the middle. I'm going to use the smaller end again, and I just kind of like to press it in to blend. I don't really want to take it on the sides of my nose. I want to keep it right in the middle, just like that. Okay, now I'm going to switch brushes, but I'm still going to stick with my contour. I am going to go to my blend and tap. I I just got her in. I had been wanting her for such a long time, but they had been out of stock because COVID and all that mess. But she's here, and I just can't tell you how happy I am because she really is. This is the multitasker brush, see? But I'd say that this could also be called a multitasker brush. I have found so many uses for her, and I just love her. She has a rounded tip here, and then on the other side, it's a flatter but condensed but flexible end as well. So I'm going to go to the rounded end. I'm going to dip it into my contour color, and I'm going to line my lips. Now I'd say have medium lips, and I just like the way that this brush lines my lips. I can't describe it. I just like it. If you have thinner lips, then you're gonna like using the hotline or multitasker brush. You're gonna wanna use that. It's gonna be a little easier for you to control your line. Now with your contour, you don't have to be exact about it on your lips. You really don't. Some even like to just kind of take it over your Cupid's bow and take it under your lip. It's gonna kind of look weird at the beginning, but it's gonna blend, and what it does, it just adds that line of shadow to kind of make those lips just look a little bit wider than they might be already. So at this point, I'm like to move on to my eyes before I add my cheek color. I don't know why. I feel like it's easier to see the cheek color when you already have a done eye. So this is my beautiful palette. I mean, it's just so pretty. I'm going to be using Bubba, surprise, surprise. I tend to always go there, but I'm going to use Bubba as sort of a base. I'm going to use this beautiful color Kin, K-I-N, to put just in the outer corners of my eye. And I'm going to use right here, this is called Foxy. I'm going to use it right there. And then just a dash of Sabrina on the brow bone here and in the inner corner of my eye. So the first brush that I'm going to start off with is my Eyeshadow Everything brush. You guys are familiar with Eyeshadow Everything. If you've been following me or watching the tutorials, you know how much I love this brush. It is the ultimate blending brush, and I love it. So it has the pencil side, and then it has this fluffy side. I'm going to be using the fluffy side, dipping it into Bubba, and I'm going to leave my eye open for my hooded eye, and I'm going to put Bubba everywhere. I feel like I do have a lot of real estate here on my eyes, so I tend to use a little bit more eyeshadow than somebody that would not have such a big area to work with. But these eyeshadows are extremely pigmented. You really only need a little bit. When I dip into my eyeshadow color, I'm using the smallest little swipe to get the color off. Okay, so there it is. I put Bubba pretty freely around, the whole lid of my eye. I'm also gonna flip it over now to this side, the little pencil side, dipping it into Bubba again. And now I'm gonna take that color and just pull it down under my eye. This is gonna give just a nice, complete look to your eye when you bring that color down. Okay, so there's Bubba on top and underneath, ready to go into my darker color Kin, that beautiful mauve purple. I'm going to use the rounded end of the blend-in tap brush here. I'm going to dip it in, and here's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be very careful where I put Kin. For a lot of darker colors, for mature eyes especially, it looks a lot, it has a better effect of opening up your eye if you keep it on the outer corners of your eye as opposed to bringing it all the way in. So that's what I'm gonna do here. I'm gonna apply right at the lash line, and remember that V that I told you about before, so I can feel the bone of my brow bone here, and I'm going right up against that brow bone and making a sort of triangle, a triangular shape. Have you guys seen Mystery Men? If you know, then you know. Equilateral or isosceles. And I'm gonna be pretty dramatic here. I swear that was one of the, such a good movie. I really like that corny humor though. Like in high school, my favorite movie was Wayne's World. And my husband still makes fun of me for it. And you know, I've tried to get him to watch it, but he falls asleep for it. I'm like, how can you? Whatever.
There it is. Okay, same thing this side.
Okay, so far I haven't even worried about blending it. I just wanted to make that little triangle shape on the outer corner of my eye. I'm gonna switch my brush again back to the eyeshadow everything using that pencil side. I'm gonna dip into Kin once more and bring that darker color under my eye, just right there, right where the white meets the colored part of your eye here. You can make this as dramatic as you want. You could pull it up a little bit more to have more of an almond shape. Flip it over and you can blend that up. Okay, so I have it right here, Kin right up here. And now I'm going to use the fluffy side of the eyeshadow everything brush, and I'm going to blend it, keeping the Kin color underneath the brow bone. So I'm just going back and forth, just blending that line a little bit. Done with that. So I want to show you a trick that I haven't showed you yet, but maybe you've seen it before. I'm going to now use my blend and tap brush, but I'm also using the side that's kind of flat on one end. I'm going to take my Stay Spray and I'm going to spray that flat side pretty good. I'm going to get it nice and wet. And then I'm going to dip it into my glitter color, not glitter, shimmer color. I'm going to dip it into Foxy. Now what this is going to do is just make the color more intense. If you don't have Stay Spray or you're out of Stay Spray, whatever, you can use a little bit of water and it's going to do the same thing. It's just not going to have that staying power that the Stay Spray is going to have, but it's going to intensify the look just the same. I'm putting Foxy right on top of the lid here. I don't want to take it into Kin, that darker color. I want it to come in the inner corner of my eye and then just on that lid. And I want to let it dry before you fully open your eye. So you can see it gives that metallic effect to your eyeshadow. It's just so pretty. And even if you do use that technique with a matte color, it will still intensify that color and just look so pretty. Definitely good when you're attending a holiday party, maybe. I don't know what's gonna happen this year. But you know, I like getting ready for myself. I don't know. I stay at home with my kids. We do homeschool, and putting makeup on every day, looking like I'm gonna go somewhere just makes me feel like you know, I can handle whatever the day has. I don't know. It just helps me. And so I love getting ready in the mornings. I actually really do look forward to putting on my makeup every morning. I sit at my vanity, I have a cup of coffee, I listen to the news while I put on my makeup. And I'm at, you know, the stage now with my kids where I'm using Sabrina and I'm just rambling on and not telling you what I'm doing. Sabrina Blend and Tap, the rounded in, and I'm just going in the inner corner of the eye to blend that Foxy color with Sabrina, just the slightest blend though. Anyway, I was saying, I'm at the stage now where I can sit and actually do my makeup. The kids are fine. They, you know, it's not like I have toddlers or like I'm in a hurry like I was for a very, very long time. But I'm telling you, with this makeup, you can do it in 5 minutes or less, really. You don't have to do this whole thing every single day. You can make it as simple or as dramatic as you want. And that is, I mean, it's just the beauty of this whole system. It's so revolutionary in what we're used to. What I like to do is to use the wide end of the Buffy brush and just go under my eye to just kind of clean up. If I have anything that went where it wasn't supposed to go, just give a quick cleanup. All right, let's talk brows. I have thick brows, but I also have like lots of little bald spots in there from the 90s when I used to pluck my eyebrows super duper thin when I was cray cray. You can do a couple of things with your brows to fill them in. Some people really love using their contour color in their eyebrow, and that looks amazing. I have found though, I really, really love this eyeshadow color called Trust. I love it on my eyebrows. And so I've been using that recently. I had been using my contour color, but I felt like it had a little bit too much warmth in it. It didn't look bad. I don't know, I kind of wanted to cool it down a little bit. So I just have really been loving the Trust color. This is the Hotline brush. It comes with a spoolie end and this nice little angled tip that is, you can use it for an eyeliner if you wanted to line your eyes with shadow, or even line your eyes with a contour color. You could really work some magic there. What I like to do is kind of balance my elbow, start on the inner corner, and then just make a straight line and just pull that color into the eyebrow. Look how much it just fills in there. All those little gaps are gone. And I just love the shape that it gives my eyebrows. I just love it. Makes such a big difference. Fixing your eyebrows. Okay, I started holding my Hotline brush up, and do you see how it looks like I'm adding new little hairs going along that natural shape of the brow. I'm not trying to fight against it, not trying to make it something that it's not. I am just filling in those little areas that have lost all hope and abandoned ship. Okay, so here I like to pull the color down. I like it to kind of end where my eye ends. Once you're done filling it in, you flip to the spoolie side and you just brush it through just to blend it, make it look natural and neat. No sharp lines. Look at the difference. Look at the difference. I know it looks a little Groucho Marx right now, but don't worry. Once we add the color to the cheek and the lips, it's just gonna look so... I like the way it looks anyway. I don't know. I don't care what you say. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. Okay, going to the other brow. I'll see you in a moment. A little bit more balanced, right? But it does. It fills in those brows and it looks good. Just a little side note here. If you have never filled in your brows before, and especially if you're using shadow, not so much if you're using contour, it may be a step that you want to do when you're priming your eyelids. Go ahead and just fill in your brows and then do your eyeshadow, just in case if you're not used to the amount of product that you should be putting on that Hotline brush and you have fallout, then you don't have to clean up your entire eye. It's an easy cleanup if that happens to you while you still just have your primer on. So just a little side note. Let's finish out the eyes. I'm going to line the waterline of my eye here all the way across. And I want to show you guys a new trick that I learned. So I am not a professional makeup artist. I've not gone to cosmetology school. I haven't studied. Basically, I've learned off of YouTube and my trainings through Maskcara, which have been incredible and really supportive. So I'm constantly learning just like you are. And trust me, if I can do it, you can do it. But look at this new trick that I learned. I put the liner right here in the corner of my eye, and I'm gonna pull up. Just like that. Can you see it? The smallest little liner curve up. I'm gonna do the same thing to the other eye. It's kind of like a little tail feather that's just kind of pulled up alongside. Then I'm going to use my Hotline brush, again, the one with the spoolie on the end. I'm gonna use the angled side. I'm going to dip into Salem, which is a black matte color. I'm dipping lightly because let me tell you, Salem has a lot of pigment. I'm going to hold my skin and I'm pretty much just gonna trace that line with my shadow to make a soft little wing along the outer corner of my eye. Super soft. Just adding that depth, adding that extra oomph. And just along the outer corner, we don't really want to pull it in too much. We don't want to close off our eye. Just gonna take this and just blend it a little bit. This is eyeshadow everything. Just a soft little wing. That's it. Okay, mascara time. Yay! Mascara done. Remember, my new trick lately has been to just apply the mascara on the top lash line. I've done a little bit of the outer corner, but not too much. I'm really just loving that open look. I feel like it makes my eyelashes look even longer. And I've been using that grande lash. I don't know. Can someone just tell me what it's called? I don't know. Anyway, I've been using that and I still love it. I still love it. I feel like it's done its job pretty well. We are ready for our lip and cheek. So I'm gonna open up to my second level of my artist palette. And today I am using the color Royal. She looks scary in the tin, but she's not at all right here. This is Black Cherry. I couldn't decide between which one. Both of them are beautiful, but today I think I'm gonna go with Royal. It's got a little bit more pinkish tones to it. And I don't know, I just feel like I want to bring that out. So one of the brushes that I actually like applying my blush with is the Best Blend Forever brush. I like using this fluffy end. I just like that I can be really exact with my placement of it. Then I use the fluffy end of my B Squared bronzer brush to buff it out. So let me show you. This side, dipping it into Royal, going to at the top of my cheekbone, and I like to just kind of move it across. Just like that. See, not a scary color at all, is it? It's so pretty, especially for fall. Yes, yes, you need it. Speaking of holidays though, just so you guys know, if you would like, you're thinking about someone that might like this, who would maybe love to try it, let me know. I can either recommend colors for you, or you can go on and get a lip and cheek and some eyeshadows. These ones paired together would be a beautiful fall palette for any skin tone, really. Okay, so now I'm switching to the B Squared bronzer, and I just use it to spread it around and blend it with my contour color. Really, really gently. Not a lot of effort here, not a lot of movement. Just to kind of blur those lines. Blush is done, and now, or I should say lip and cheek. Now I'm gonna switch back to my blend and tap. I'm going back to my round end or the flat end. It actually doesn't matter here, but I'm gonna go ahead and dip it into Royal and take that color to my lip. Look how pretty it is. See how it's all tying together? Now my eyebrows don't look like Groucho Marx, do they? Okay, almost last step. We're gonna move into our illuminators here. I'm going to use rose gold today. I actually have the rose gold perfume, the number 3, and it's really nice because you can apply it here along your collarbone and into here, down your throat. Maybe I'll just do that. Why not just stop talking and do it, Sara? So I'm gonna apply my rose gold right at the top of my cheekbone. Not at the top, but above my cheekbone. Right here. I'm gonna apply it on the tip of my nose. Illuminator is just the prettiest finishing touch. It adds just that finesse to your makeup. And now I'm gonna switch to the perfume here. I'm gonna go along there, right in here. So number 3 smells kind of musky. It's kind of like, I don't wanna say woodsy, but it is a musky kind of, I don't know. They describe it so well online, and it's exactly what you would think. I love it. Okay, there we go. Illuminator done. For my next trick, I'm gonna be putting on some bronzer. I'm gonna use the fluffy side of my B Squared bronzer brush, and today I'm actually going to use Bella. So in past videos, I've expressed to you my love for Icon. It's actually a highlighter, but look, you can see the warmth in it versus Bella, that's a little cooler. I don't know, I just feel for winter, I'm liking the color of Bella for a fall winter tone. I like the cooler colors here. So with Bronzer, you're just putting it where the sun would naturally touch you, right here on your forehead, maybe some down the bridge of your nose and the high points of your cheek, a little on your chin. And you can go as warm as you want. See, can you see how it just kind of warmed up? Look from here to here, how it just warmed up my forehead. It's gonna add another dimension to your blush too. I'm just buffing it on really lightly. And Insta Tan, done. Really easy, really pretty, really finished. Down to our final moments. Okay, so we have our bronzer set, we've got our lip and cheek, we have our illuminator, we filled in our brows, we did our eyeshadow, we did our whole face, looking great. And now I'm going to just set with a little powder. Again, I'm oily, so this stage kind of matters for me. If you are not oily, I don't recommend setting with powder. You don't need it. Keep that glowy look to you. So what I'm gonna do is take my spoolie. I have this NARS setting powder. I actually really like this, but I don't like that it's hard, so I wanna make it into a loose powder, and all I do is I take my spoolie and I just go back and forth across it, and ta-da, it's a loose powder. Mascara just came out with this wonderful brush. It is a powder brush, and it has this nice angled dense end and then a pointy end too to kind of shove in the nooks and crannies of your face. I'm just gonna use the angled dense end. A mess. I just go where I get oily, which is right around my nose. And I just press it in along my chin. Now, if you are applying powder, and just depending on where you need to apply, keep it away from these laugh lines, you know, because the powder will get in there. That's why we're using the cream makeup, because it is so wonderful for those fine lines. But when you're setting with the powder, that's going to change things, right? It's going to go back to the way a powder acts and get caught in those fine lines. So be very strategic about where you put it. And also, you might want to do it before, just depending on where you get oily. If you kind of get oily along here, then you might want to set with your powder before you put your illuminator on. I love this brush. It came with my Pro Kit, and I don't know if I would have ever gotten it on my own, because I'm like, I can make something work, you know. But this is a pretty fantastic brush, I do have to admit, and there are more uses to it. You can definitely use it for heavy coverage spots. Just a little buffing here, and that's it. So the last step before we are done is to spray with our Stay Spray. Now, this delivers quite a lot of product to your face to really set your face. If you don't like to just spray it on, you're gonna wanna hold it kind of down, aim it up, and just spray around. I prefer to, again, just use my sponge, spray my sponge, and then just dab it all around my face. I find that works really well, but you could also just spray and go, okay? It's gonna be fine. And we made it to the finish line, all done. Full face tutorial, ready for the day. This is my daily routine. For me, and in my season of life, I have the time to do this look using all the brushes, doing all the things, but I understand, I've been there before, mama. I know what it is, what it's like to not have that kind of time to be able to ready yourself that way. But mascara is just that flexible, so that if you just have 5 minutes, you can throw it on and you can look fabulous and fantastic. So if you are interested in a color match, it's free, it's customized to you and what you need, please send me a message. You can comment below, or you can click into my bio for a form that you can fill out that will lead you directly into that color matching process. It'll be quick and easy, and you'll be ready to go. Don't forget to tag and share this video if you are on Instagram. Doing so will enter you into our October drawing. This month's October drawing is for the eyeshadow everything brush and a shadow of choice. So not too shabby. I would definitely tag a few people. If you are sharing to your stories, be sure to tag me there because otherwise I can't see it. Anyway, I'm so glad that we've completed our brush series. I hope that you found it helpful. Mwah, glow on.